Hello and welcome to today's March 18th Daily News Report. If you're a subscribed member of my community, then welcome back. You watch this channel each day because I keep you in the loop on what's really going on in Washington, D.C. with President Biden and the U.S. economy, so let's jump right in. All right, my apologies for a late release. I've been dealing with some heart-related health issues. So I appreciate you being patient with me and the channel as I research and bring you guys the news. In a close to 2-hour teleconference meeting between President Biden and China's President Xi Jinping, a lot was discussed. On the call with the president of China, Biden asked him about his situation with Ukraine and with Russia, and the president of China said he did not want to see Russia go into Ukraine, and that he does not support Putin in this war action. He said China doesn't want to see loss of life. They just want to be able to trade with as many other nations as they can. President Biden said if China gives any kind of aid or support or the perception of support to Vladimir Putin, then China will be hit with U.S. sanctions. Unlike the United States, China doesn't see buying oil from Russia as bad or having Ukrainian blood on it. They just see it as a cheaper source of gas for their citizens. But China isn't likely to back Russia politically outside of doing business and trade because the United States is a much larger and more consistent trade partner for China. Now, speaking of China, I told you how Saudi Arabia refused to answer Joe Biden's phone call and that they said that they might be switching from the US dollar over to the Chinese yuan dollar when it comes to buying oil from their country. Well, it's now been confirmed that Saudi Arabia has offered to host leaders of China, including Xi Jinping, to sell them affordable oil, and China said, we'll gladly accept the offer. Now, I see this as weakening the US dollar and making life at home more expensive for you and I, while China continues to increase trade partners all over the world. Now, I hate that the United States relies so heavily on foreign nations for oil and energy, but here's where we're at, and the only thing we can do is change things going forward. Now, progressive Democrats say that there is no sense of urgency to pass landmark bills while Republicans control the country. So progressives say if Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema and Republicans won't do what they want, then they will bypass the rules and procedures of Congress and move towards pressuring President Biden to take executive action. And they might get their way. To give some context, President Obama did 38 executive orders during his first year in office, and President Biden did 77, so well over double what Obama did. So progressives know that President Biden is clearly open to using executive order to push through their wants and their policies. Now, there are 55 calls to action. I'm not going to go through all of them, but let me list off the big ones that I think matter. Number 1, ban all new fossil fuel licenses on federal land and anywhere progressive Democrats deem as environmental justice communities. Now, I don't know what that means, but that's what they're calling for. So basically, no new oil ever again on U.S. federal land going forward. 2, ending the Trump era remain in Mexico policy and the Title 42 exclusion for illegal immigrants. Now, this one you'll have to make your own mind up on because according to news source Axios, there are 170,000 immigrants waiting in Mexico right now for the Trump era Title 42 to be lifted. And they say that once the government lifts that there will be the largest run on the U.S. border in history. You can look this up to learn a little bit more about it, but basically the people are just chilling in Mexico waiting for this to be revoked, and then they're going to make a mass run on the border. Again, Axios who's pretty down the middle, is the one that did this expose. Number 3, ending domestic and international fossil fuel subsidies and reinstating a ban on crude oil exports. So get rid of any and all help to the oil companies. Now, this would make oil and gas jump up in price significantly, but you would know that your tax money isn't contributing to polluting the planet or cheaper gas prices, according to them. Number 4, declare a national climate emergency and invoke the Defense Production Act to increase production of renewable energy. So instead of using the Defense Production Act to produce more oil and gas, they would basically hurt big oil, and that they would shift all of their energy towards immediately ramping up wind and solar energy options. Again, the progressive Democrats say the answer to their voters' problems are to buy an electric car today. So if you're a progressive Democrat or you lean that way, this is what they're saying is the answer to your problems. Number 5, cancel the $1.6 trillion of student loan debt. Now, they want the United States to write all of the debt off for people so that they can move forward with their lives and not have these monthly payments ever again. That would have a major impact on the country. I know that many people want student loan forgiveness. Now, President Biden promised when running for president to forgive $10,000 of student loan debt. I guess he still has 3 more years to make good on that promise. But the progressive Democrats want him to wipe out all student loan debt, all $1.6 trillion. Again, that would have an effect on the nation. And then number 6, they want more oversight on police officers, and they want to take back all military-grade weaponry from police here in the United States. Representative Pramila Jayapal said, these are the items Joe Biden's 81 million voters want us to do. These voters want President Biden to use his presidential authority to make these changes to our country. Now, she says that Biden is the most popularly elected president in U.S. history, and his use of executive authority would be popular too. Now, I don't fully agree with this because not every Democrat is a progressive Democrat, but this is what they're saying, right? Pramila Jayapal is the head of the progressive party within Democrats, so this is her opinion. Now, many Democrats are much more moderate and are publicly saying that they don't agree with abusive executive privilege, and they don't agree with all of these talking points. So there is division even within the Democrat Party on how to move forward with executive orders. Republican Senator Ted Cruz said Democrats say they want lower gas prices and then publicly attack oil companies. They must want $10 a gallon gas. So these are the key points out of the 55 that progressives say they will now begin to pressure President Joe Biden over. The Ukraine-Russia crisis continues. Nearly 2.5 million people have fled the country, and 6.5 million say, we don't know where to go, we're just trying to survive. Airline travel will likely become about 10% more expensive as airline executives say, we can't depress our ticket prices anymore amidst these high gas prices. Many stocks are seeing a nice bounce back now that the Federal Reserve has passed their rate hike, and it appears that World War III probably won't happen. Many cryptos are now up 15% in the last couple of days, and much of the stock market is also seeing a nice bounce back. I noticed that the lithium company and the health stock that I told you about this month, they saw a dip just like all stocks did, and now they are back in the green. They're heading up again. So anyway, just wanted to let you guys know it does look like the stock market is starting to behave differently based on the Fed and the Russia-Ukraine situation. Now, this is my update for today. As I know more, I will definitely come on and share more with you. Before you go, make sure to enter your name to be one of the 200 winners of cash, one of these hats, one of the t-shirts or hoodies that Casey and I are giving away as a way of saying we appreciate you being in our YouTube community. Hey, I hope you have a great weekend. I just want to remind you that you are amazing. I appreciate you being in my community, and I'll see you on the next video.